Hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Roseka, and this is the Midnight Reader, and I have been living a double life. So I have a confession. I have a secret identity. It's not actually that dramatic, but if you have watched my videos over the course of the last year, you will know that I've had a lot of health issues. So much so that it stopped me from reading for a while, that it stopped me from making videos for a while. There is an actual reason for that, which I'm gonna share. This is it. You're about to learn why, guys. This is why I've been sick. If you're not looking at the screen, the joke is that I'm comically pregnant. Yep, that's right. I'm growing a human. I am almost 7 months pregnant at the time that this video will be released. Holy shit, I have so much to do. Oh God. But anyway, it turns out that growing a human in my body is like not fucking fun. Things I have had to deal with. The dramatic and profound worsening of a chronic illness to do with my GI system. Complete and total GI havoc, like in every possible way. Continuous vomiting throughout my entire pregnancy. Not really tapering off, which it's supposed to do, but no, that didn't happen for me. Still puking. Sciatica, because your joints loosen when you're pregnant. So the little nerve, like kind of by my sacrum, that got pinched because my pelvis is flexing too much. And that got to the point where I couldn't walk because I was in so much pain, and my doctors were considering hospitalizing me for pain control, which thankfully didn't happen. I was able to just chill on muscle relaxers on the couch for like a week. Rectus diastasis, which means that your abdominal wall starts separating, and my formerly 6-pack has now become 2 separate and distinct 3-packs. Which means that when I engage my abdomen in any way in a crunch motion, instead of my abs looking like a nice round thing, they look like a cone, and it looks like a creature is about to explode out of my abdomen, like an alien. Cool. Other complaints: I can't sleep. I can't really eat as much as I want to, because if I get anywhere near a full feeling, I'm in tons of pain. My hair is kind of falling out. I have acne again. My back hurts. My feet hurt. My belly button hurts. Nothing fits. Nothing fucking fits. Also fun, people feel obligated or comfortable with continuously commentating on what you're eating, on the shape of your body, on the weight of your body, which isn't super fun, gotta say. Also, if you're having a completely magical pregnancy, or you have had one where you felt great all the way through, that's great for you. I'm really happy for you. Please don't tell me about it. Please leave me alone. Also, the comment, "Oh, but everything is gonna be worth it once you have a baby." Shut up with that. It's not super helpful right now. Anyway, glad we talked about this. Probably at the release of this video, I am not in the US anymore. I am in Iceland, because that's where my husband and I decided to go on a baby moon, because I need a vacation. And I thought, why not Iceland in November? No, genuinely, I'm super stoked to go. I don't know how much I'm gonna film while I'm there, because it is very much a vacation. But I thought I'd make this video because it's time for me to be allowed to complain about being pregnant. So I have also had some secret books that I have kept out of my monthly reading wrap-ups. And I thought I'd bring them up here so you can kind of see the books that I've secretly been reading. They're not that secret because I still put them on Goodreads, but that's mostly because my brain doesn't work anymore. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Like, you lose like most of your short-term memory and you become not a functional human anymore. Prego brain is great, but they are still on Goodreads. So if you followed me on Goodreads, you knew I read these anyway. So I've been reading a lot of parenting books, which rather funnily, I was reading before getting pregnant. It was kind of a way to make me feel less terrified of being pregnant. Recently, I reread Expecting Better by Emily Oster. I read Like a Mother, A Feminist Journey Through the Science and Culture of Pregnancy by Angela Garbus. And I also reread Bringing Up Bebe, One American Mother Discovers the Wisdom of French Parenting by Pamela Druckerman. Of those three, Expecting Better is definitely the most useful pregnancy-wise. Emily Oster is a professor, I believe at Brown University. She's an economist, and when she got pregnant, she was really irritated by the amount of like bad data and bad studies that tend to get floated around, as well as all the cultural things you should and should not do when you catch pregnant. Her thing is she made a book that kind of goes through the different stages of pregnancy, as well as the things that you should or should not do, and what the actual data is that supports doing or not doing those things. Because not all studies are created equal, and she kind of breaks them down to be like, this is what the science and the data that we know actually says, because there's not actually tons of data on a lot of things about pregnant women, because it's not ethical to put them in studies where you can do harm to pregnant women or fetuses. That was probably the most helpful book I read. I've read it before. It's much better than a lot of pregnancy books. I also read Like a Mother, which I was really intrigued by because it's written by a person of color who are both underrepresented in pretty much all pregnancy research, as well as unfortunately having a higher risk of complications in most pregnancies. I was really interested in that, and also it seemed to have a feminist slant. I wound up not really enjoying that book very much, mostly because I don't think it knew what it was. It very clearly stated this is not a how-to book, but it's also not just a memoir, so I just wound up finding it not that interesting or that helpful, and kind of all over the place, and a little kind of like preachy in places. Plus, sometimes she would say things that I know is not supported by research and stuff like that, so it was a pass for me. Maybe someone else out there enjoys it. I will not be rereading that one. I also reread Bringing Up Bebe by Pamela Druckerman. I really like this book. I genuinely enjoy it. This kind of falls into the genre of books that explores cultural differences between like American parents and other cultures. This one particularly leaning into French parenting. As someone who grew up in a German household, as well as like my husband grew up in Germany, we both kind of saw a lot of things that we both agreed with / were in use in our own households and how we were parented. It's also just really well written and very funny, and probably the most engaging of all the parenting books that I've read. I would say there is some like stuff in here I don't agree with, in particular regards to like toxic body shit, the need to get your body back immediately after pregnancy, that I think is maybe a little bit more toxic. I did really enjoy a lot of her things that she was talking about with parenting, and I think with most parenting books, you take shit with a grain of salt, and also it all kind of flies out the window when you have a kid anyway. Other things I've done, I got to go to New York City with some very dear friends, and it was so fun. We went for like dim sum and ice cream and dumplings, and it was just delightful. And I shot like no B-roll because I was having such a good time. But we decided we would go to the Strand because I've never been to the Strand. It's a really famous bookstore in New York City. But I did go and buy a bunch of kids' books, because they had a really cute kids section. I know kiddo is not going to be reading for a while, but I can enjoy these books right now, right? So the books I bought were A Color of His Own by Leo Lionni, which I just love the art in this. It's really cute. It's a story about how all the animals have colors except for chameleons, because chameleons can be any color. And that makes this chameleon feel a little bit lonely until he finds another chameleon that he can like be different colors with. It's really cute, okay? Other books that I bought, I think these were published significantly after I was a child. However, I think they're great. They are the Hat series by John Klassen. Specifically, I Want My Hat Back and This Is Not My Hat, which, as far as I can describe, are books about like hat theft. In I Want My Hat Back, there's a bear who is looking for his hat, and he's asking all the creatures if they've seen his hat, and he does find a little like rabbit who's clearly wearing his hat, and they're like a little murdery, like retribution happens. Like he recalls, I have seen my hat, and he goes, you stole my that. I just love the art on this so much. And then he has his hat back, which it's a little murdery. I don't know how to describe these books. They're basically books about hat theft followed by murderous retribution. And they're kids' board books. And they're so hilarious that I love them. I'm not sure what the message is there about theft and murder, but they're adorable and I love the art. And so, yeah, we have those now. Also, let's see. I will show you this. I was gifted a version of the children's classic Goodnight Moon by one of my friends, Rachel and Kevin, who bought us the very sciencey Goodnight Lab, which is set in a lab about a scientist, and it's them saying goodnight to all the lab equipment before they go home, and it's really cute. It's very cute and nerdy, and I enjoy it a lot. But yeah, so there's probably going to be a bunch more kids books in the future, and I will be reading more parenting books. I will include them in my reading wrap-ups now, but thank you for letting me complain about being pregnant. This is what's going on in my life right now, as well as trying to move everything around in my apartment to make room for a tiny human. They need so much stuff. I am both very lucky and very happy to be pregnant. However, my body is not enjoying the experience. I think those things are not mutually exclusive. So thanks for watching. I hope you're having a good week. I'm sorry about my double life that I've been leading if I've led you astray in any way. And I will see you when I get back from Iceland. Vacation! See you next week!